Alrighty, any additions to the agenda?
Yes, I would like to discuss the hiring of a police officer.
Okay, we will add that as item J.
We're going to either move the executive session.
Okay, and we will strike item 4, executive session. Any other changes to the agenda? All right, hearing none. First item on the agenda, AB 15-048, appointment, Planning Commission and Park Board.
Okay. City Council has seen in your packet, we had 2 young youth that have stepped forward to sit on both the planning and the park board, the planning commission and the park board. And so that is Franklin Tapata, I think. I was like trying to figure out how to say his name. The Tapata, as well as Cole Franklin, or the Colton Brown. Anyway, to the park board. And those guys are probably both going to be showing up to both meetings. They'll probably both go to the planning commission, both go to the park board. They have taken their respective places for each one. And they both attend Auburn Riverside. And as well as we had Justin Newland, who has requested a appointment to the planning commission. And I think he too will be a good addition to the planning commission. And then also, we need to reappoint Don Blackwell. We're having a little difficulty tracking down the exact paperwork, so to kind of make sure we don't have any faux pas, that we'll just reappoint Don Blackwell to the park board.
Council discussion? Council pleasure? All right, we'll move that those all forward. Next on the agenda, AB 15-049. Resolution 2015-244, expressing the City of Pacific support for King County Proposition 1, Emergency Public Service Radio Network Replacement Project.
So, hopefully all of council has had an opportunity to read the information provided in the packet. This is going to be on the April 28th ballot. Pursuing, as they call it, the Puget Sound Emergency Radio Network is aging. It's about 20 years old. It's a Motorola system that pretty soon they're not even going to be able to have parts for it. It's supported by our Valley Comp. This is going to be a levy or a bond that's going to be on the ballot. And as you see, it's going to cost citizens about 7 cents per thousand for assessed. And the King County-wide median households are looking at about $26, $46 a year to do this, and it's a 9-year bond. This is something that I don't like to see property taxes or, increasing our citizens' property taxes, but this is a service that we need to provide and we need to upgrade and have this for the safety of our citizens and have that public safety available. Any questions?
I talked to Trent tonight, council member Walker, and this came up for discussion at a meeting that I was at last Wednesday. And there was some concerns that some fire districts or emergency districts have recently upgraded equipment, and the money that was spent on this they would have to throw it out and start over to match up with what this system would bring. And there was also some concern that if property values go down, it could mean layoffs for firemen. So Trent's looking into seeing where VRFA stands, and he knows that there's been some recent upgrades in the vehicle, and he's going to talk to Eric Roberts and bring us information about this to see how we'd be affected because of how our fire benefits district supports our Valley Regional Fire Authority if the economy and the
So is he bringing this information back to?
Well, I just hit him up with it, so he's gonna get the information, but he's obviously not here tonight, so it might take a day or two.
Regional fire, sorry.
Did you?
I believe it was part of the discussion as far as how it affects us, or would it necessarily be a effect for the Valley Regional Fire Authority, but the Valley Comm System itself?
Was there recent upgrades though, do you know,
No.
I do
That-
not recall.
that would have to
But-
be thrown out?
Is there something you could discuss with Eric?
I can't, yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe they're talking about maybe East here, but I will confirm that, so.
I know, Greg Baruso talked in May, he's the fire chief at the airport, I think that's report. And they had recently upgraded, and when this goes through, if it goes through, the money that they put into their upgrade, they'll be tearing it out and starting over to be compatible with this new system. And there are
I
some
will,
other fire districts in the same position.
I will confirm those concerns
Yeah.
with, Eric Robertson, but,
Great.
and what I'll do is try to get an email out to council before Friday, so you have time to look it over so that we can vote on this. I mean, it's a timely issue as
It
well.
is. This isn't it
It's
the
gonna be on the
28th?
ballot whether we support it or not.
Yeah.
Sound Cities Association is supporting this 100%. And so I thought that our city would be interested in supporting this as well. So I will ask that question with Eric, because none of those concerns came up.
Yeah, and if the property values do go down, what will that mean for our firemen?
Well, that's a different subject, isn't
Think you had a comment on it?
Well, because of the levy.
I mean, to begin with, it's gonna go to the voters.
Right.
Number two is, if we have property values increase, there's gonna be firemen laid off anyway, whether this issue goes through or not. So it's, why even ask the question? I can't see the reason for it.
I think it was because of it's a 9-year levy, LID levy, so that would impact, because the levy still has to be paid for, and that would take away from payroll. That was what's in the voters pamphlet right now.
So decrease in property values is going to
Not all the way
take away
around.
from the FRA revenue too.
Trent thinks that it might not because of how we're a fire authority in the district, so it might be different from our
Why is this coming to us via resolution? Why are you asking council to pass a resolution?
In support of it, because that's what all the cities are doing, is doing it by resolution. So, kind of being in uniform with the rest of the cities in county.
Do we know if we expect to have all that information back at the next week's meeting?
I have it right, so that you have it. So I wish that Councilmember Walker would have sent me the questions, I would have had the answer.
I'm the one that called him and I said, hey, what does this mean? So,
I could have found out before she did.
sorry.
Anyway, I'd be happy to look into it.
All right, what's the council's pleasure on this? Should we move forward pending receipt of the information?
Sure.
All righty. Next on the agenda, AB 15-050, Pierce Transit ballot select representatives of the Pierce Transit Board representing the cities of Auburn, Fircrest, Gig Harbor, Pacific, Ruston, and Sullivan.
Okay, that's me. On March 26th, I received a letter from Pierce Transit and a ballot. We need to vote on our representative for the Pierce Transit Board. And the only nomination received was for Councilmember Nancy Henderson, who is currently the representative. And Pierce Transit would like the ballot back by April 17th.
Council questions? Council pleasure.
Move to support the Pierce County Transit ballot, council member from Stoughton.
Forward to next week's agenda. Alrighty, next on the agenda. Agenda Bill 15-051, Resolution 2015-245, accepting equipment grant from WASDIC in the amount of $6,299 to be utilized towards purchase of vehicle-related equipment and enhancements.
This is good work.
There was a lamination at the table.
I'm good. I'm good. This has to do with, of course, we're in a process of replacing some of our aged cars. And when we buy a car, of course, there's equipment that comes with it. And so we obtained an equipment grant from the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs for the amount of $6,299, which will go towards purchasing some of the equipment that's going to go into the cars. Without this grant money, we would still be purchasing that equipment to go into those cars.
Council question?
Is it free money?
Nothing in life is free, but I'm not quite sure
Reasonably cheap?
how that
Free
works.
money?
I'm not sure how that works.
Money for paperwork?
What does it cost the city to accept this money?
I'm not sure. Sometimes it's a half-half thing. Sometimes we don't have to pay that money back. I wasn't involved in putting this grant together. Sure, I don't know what the requirements will be.
What's a LIDAR?
LIDAR is it's a more accurate radar type system. It's car specific.
Uses a laser instead of radar?
I think this is basically free money, there's no matching funds.
Okay.
Council's pleasure?
Move forward.
All right, let's move that forward. And next up is Agenda Bill 15-052, Resolution 2015-246, accepting the traffic safety mini grant from WASDIC for $500 for bike helmets for the Bike Rodeo.
Well, we're working with Outback Elementary School for our annual bicycle rodeo event, and one of the things that we do is we get a grant. Well, we apply for a grant. In this case, we applied for one, and we were granted a grant in the amount of $500, and all that money goes towards purchasing bicycle helmets, which we make available to the kids that show up on that particular date that need a bicycle helmet, and thereafter that date, if we have some kids that come to the police station, we make available. We have bicycle helmets in stock where we can still make helmets available to them. So that's what this grant is for.
Second one is for free as well? The kids that come after the bike rodeo, they get them for free as well?
Yes.
Any other council questions? Council's pleasure?
Move forward.
All right, let's move that forward. Next up, AB 15053, discussion on purchase and implementation of the For the Record 5.6 portable solution for the recording system in council chambers.
Good evening. This is something that the Technology Committee has been going over for quite some time now, since last year. In order for us to upgrade the sound system, we also need to upgrade SPR Gold to the most current solution. So it's portable because we can move it away from the City Hall in case we do move to a temporary housing area. And the cost includes everything, all the software and related hardware that hooks into the sound system. And what it also enables us to do is to grow with the system, so as we add more mics, this will be able to handle it, the old system we have right now would not.
Council questions?
Is this, 1253 the goal? Is that what it is?
I think we have a goal now, this is the next step. This is, I mean, the most current one. I spoke to some other, city clerks that use it, and they said it works really smoothly, and it will also enable us to post links to the website eventually as well. So it can be listened to.
Council questions? Council pleasure?
Move forward.
And here's the big one, this is the sound system, and at the last technology committee meeting, we, in the last two actually have gone over this. We had the one, you see the two bids that came with this, one is much larger than the other one, and, which is Avidex is the larger one, which is $33,000. That's quite a bit of labor cost, about $12,000 or $11,000. Where Audio 21 is a lot less, so I called Black Diamond today and spoke with their deputy clerk. They just got the Audio 21 system 7-8 months ago, and so I asked them if they had any problems, and she said no, it's worked great. They have 7 mics, and they have 3 that are wireless, and she said there's not been one complaint, one problem. It works great, and they're really liking the system. So, and Councilmember Walker, who's the head of that committee, the chair, had wanted me to look into this because they're really close to recommending it to council. And he wanted it brought back to this to discuss because of things like this.
And what is the difference in price between the two?
One's about $12,000, the other one's about $33,000. So it's significant.
That's a significant.
Yeah. Wow. And then the other one that's $33,000, while it has more bells and whistles, we don't really need the bells and whistles, and you can add them to the system. And this guy has done a lot of small cities who runs Audio 21. So
He's been around quite a while.
yes, he has.
It's established.
Yeah, and he's in the area so he could respond, and the training, he does the same training, and it's a lot less expensive than what Avidex is, so. And we don't have to do 3 bids on this work either, which is kind of nice. We've got two good ones. I think they're pretty comprehensive in the industry. And also, with Audio 21, we could probably have it in once the council approves it within 2 weeks. I know.
Other council questions?
Well, I probably should say how many, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we've been discussing this for quite a while, looking at them, and Avidex, like you said, came in at a fairly high, at $32,000, we've all kind of balked a little bit at that, but they are a reputable business, and they've got larger cities, on their plate as far as their work. 21, we communicated with Representative, working with Milton,
Right.
and he knows the business owner of the 21. He put together the package for them to look at, and they came back with the 12,000 plus price, and it provides us everything we need, including locations, speakers, mics at the table, all the council and the mayor and city clerk locations, and it's a digital format. It's available for upgrades, so it's not only is it capable for what we need here. If we had to be mobile, it could also, move with us, but it's capable of being upgraded as we look at in the future of doing a visual recording system to attach to it. So, and for the price, I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, we'd have 9 wired, I think, 1 wireless, and maybe a lapel.
We'll eliminate the little 13 we just went through.
That's fine. Just not being.
We kind of miss it.
It's great to go with electric too.
Other council questions? Council pleasure?
Going forward.
And next on our agenda, AB 15-055, discussion of newsletter printing and distribution costs.
So I contacted, Brent North request to provide the newsletter for the city, well, they print the newsletter for the city of Sumner. And, in front of you, you have a sample of their work. And it would be the full color, glossy, and I believe he even said it would be this weight of paper. I requested a quote for an 8.5 by 11 single page, double side, glossy, full color. And he said the cost per quarter would be $920.48, not including postage. With postage, it would be roughly $1,363 per quarter, or $54.50 per year.
How many flyers do you have each quarter?
2,600.
Okay, and who would address them and mail them out? They do.
Yes,
And it's for one that's half this size, because this is for like 17.
correct. That was just a sample that he had. That's their newsletter that they sent.
Okay. Okay. So just about $1,300 per quarter, they mail them out, we just give the information.
That is correct.
So roughly 50 cents per household.
Yeah.
Do you think the letters are worth 50 cents?
I don't know. Well, the question I have is in relationship to the information from the city, written up and distributed down for print. Now, are we gonna have staff, do we have ideas what we're gonna put in there, or if we don't have anything, are we gonna bypass the quarter? I'd hate to put in, we're gonna go through all this expense, color print and everything like that. The last thing we need is, looks like, sixth graders have been writing,
Right.
the news report,
Now,
so.
is it 1,200 per quarter? Or per year?
Quarter.
Well, what do you think about putting a committee together?
I don't want anything to do with it.
I know you.
I mean, we'll decide if we want to fund it, but I think the city management needs to take ownership of this newsletter and provide the information the city feels the citizens need to be aware of. If you want to have a council corner or something like that, where if a council member wanted to write a little synopsis of upcoming events or issues, we do something like that.
Well, my thought would be to free up the staff time, because they have an incredible amount to do as it is. To get a couple of council members to commit, do it by, like the suggestion box or something to where people would put forward, this is going to be happening, or they think this should be brought to the citizens' attention, bring it to the committee. Leanne would, of course, be involved. And kind of brainstorm from there.
Well, have you ever done newspaper, news?
I did back in high school, back in
Okay, well,
1979.
I've done it in relation to my lodge, and that, it's very, very time-consuming, complicated. It's trying to, and if you want volunteers, you're gonna be stuck at the last minute trying to put information in. I think it really needs to be looked at, public works, community development, the mayor's corner, you could have the council corner, whatever, but, have the information pertinent to what's going on. I don't wanna see it get lost. You got a good intention, but I've just seen too many good intentions.
Oh, exactly, because we all know where that road goes, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I would be good at it.
I suspect it would work best to have the initial content generated by staff, by department heads, but then it would, I think, be an excellent idea to have council take a look at it before it goes out, not so much as, censors or anything like that, but to give an outside perspective, to see if it's understandable the way it is. Sometimes, with the best of intentions, staff can write something that's a bit tone deaf to the average voter, because, staff's in it 24 hours a day. They live the acronyms, they know the process, the outside doesn't. So I think having council input would be good, but I think having having the content start with staff at the mayor's direction would also be.
Would this also include the community events such as Earth Day and Civic Days and,
I would think it
citizens
easily
here?
could, and that would,
I'll wait till you're all done discussing.
Yeah.
I suspect you could easily have a city calendar in it, but the content each quarter would vary too. You don't have to do the same thing every quarter.
Exactly.
I would say it's one of the main purposes of this, is to get people involved with the city in our events and stuff. I mean, that's gotta be at least 50% of the reason to put this out.
That's like the Bike Rodeo,
All of them.
coming up, yeah.
So, does council remember when I presented this months or so ago, that was exactly the intent, staff would put it together, an opportunity for council members to weigh in and do like a council corner, or whatever you wanna call it, they have an opportunity. The whole purpose of this, like you've all been discussing, and what I had stated, the whole intent, and what we've been talking about at staff meetings probably for a month now, is what this would entail and, who would be on board, and it's each of the department heads, and they'll have an opportunity to talk about different things that are going on in the city, as well as, a way to let, the people in our community know other community events that are available. We have no way, I mean, we have ways, but we don't have a way that we connect with every mailbox. So we have 50% of the people get stuff online, we have people
Right.
that, don't have mailboxes, or they have PO boxes or whatever, but this would be like the utility billing, or everybody that has an address in the city of Pacific will have an opportunity to receive it. And we'll be able to link it to our website, we can put it on Channel 21, so you can all look forward to this, there's other ways that we can promote it as well, but I think, the first couple of ones to find out,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
this was fun. I think it's a pretty inexpensive way to connect with the people that are in community.
Further council questions?
One of the things that I don't know, it's a concern that has been brought to my attention before is I have talked to people and I'll bring up the Channel 21 and I get crushed. A lot of people don't realize Channel 21 exists. On these flyers, somewhere big, I think we should really try to get them to focus or have on there. We have this Channel 21. And would you be putting everything on this flyer? Can it also be on 21 as well?
Pretty much, like,
Well,
if you look at Channel 21, it's like a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
It's just a PowerPoint, it's just
Exactly.
basic information. You're not gonna be able to put
And-
everything on.
Right, and on the website and whatnot. Is our website been, I haven't been on it in ages. Has that been?
We're in the
picked up
process of trying to get somebody that will help us manage it. The big challenge that the city has right now is working with Auburn and
Right.
trying to get things done. And so we're trying to move past that and work through that to,
yet? So Auburn's IT is supposed to be doing website as well?
they give us access.
Yeah, they actually have the website on their,
Yeah,
Service,
and it gets
not
rather challenging.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and so one of the things that I know that the technology committee has been looking at and talking about as well, and we're just trying to get there, it's like all these little baby steps we have to take to finally get to a point where we'll be able to provide the services that we're paying for.
Is Channel 21 Comcast only, or is it
Comcast
DirecTV?
only.
and-
Only Comcast.
I think it's a great idea, and I think we should move this forward. I think this would be a very good way to spend money to get into the people's houses.
I agree.
Council pleasure, move forward?
I think it's a great idea.
And I like the idea that council kind of gets a once-over before we send it off, and plus you're aware of what's going out there, so when people, see it, what's in it. What's gonna be coming.
Would we be committed to a contract for a year with this or something?
I don't know, I can definitely check, because, we'll have to, set up an account with them, and
Okay, I think we need to get more into details and make sure we
Right,
don't
right.
lock ourselves into
Sure.
a yearly contract, because we're on kind of a trial basis on this. I mean,
Right.
No.
It's been a long time since we've
Totally
even
agree.
had anything like this.
I just want to council support.
And I will, having worked with Brick Northwest before, they are a pretty flexible company to work with, so my guess would be that this is a price for a one-time and it'll be the same for annual, but
I'll make sure we don't commit ourselves to something.
good company, good to work with, quick turnaround, flexible.
Have they done anything for us before in the past?
Not that I'm aware of. I wanted to find out who did summer.
Yep. That's nice.
Yeah, work. Okay, next up, approval of resolution to support for the wellness program and wellness policy.
Okay, we have put together a wellness committee, and some more information on that. We have plenty here. AWC has, they strongly encourage member cities to establish a wellness program. The program is to encourage employees to reduce their health risks, ultimately reducing healthcare costs for everyone. I know that there are lots of different businesses that do it as well, but Boeing does. Okay. In my experience, the committee is a really good bonding program for staff. It kind of pulls everyone together, and it's internal peer support for people that want to participate. A needs and interest survey will go out to everyone on staff once we have approval to kind of move forward. The committee, we've had one meeting and we've already started some brainstorming on ideas. And actually, that we've had a couple of events that can be used as wellness events as well, are diabetes testing. And last Wednesday was the American Heart Association Walk America Day. It was on April 1st, and it was 30 minutes of walking, just to promote activity. The upside of a wellness committee and meeting the established standards from AWC is that if we earn the WellCity, if we jump all of AWC's hurdles, we can earn a 2% discount on premiums for the employees that are covered under AWC's policy, which currently there are 6 of us. But all employees can participate. AWC provides prizes. They put together different campaigns, and they coordinate prizes for those campaigns. So all we have to do for some of their things is sign up, and they send us things to give as incentives, or, hey, good job sort of thing. I will kind of cover some of the standards that are required in order to earn the WellCity Award. We need policies and procedures, which are included in your packet, management support in the form of the resolution, also management involvement. There are requirements for training and networking for committee members, performing a needs assessment, which I believe I've covered, getting to better understand the workplace culture and provide support and education to employees to assist in adopting healthy behaviors, creation of an operating plan so that we can successfully implement the wellness program for the year. And AWC provides, their website is a wealth of information. They provide all kinds of documents, templates, ideas. They have a website, it's like Facebook, for coordinators and committee members where we kind of can all get together and trade ideas and, hey, poker walk, that's a great idea. oh, you're doing a veggie derby, that sounds great, you know, and, you can email back and forth and get, you know, their rules and how they hold their different events. Let's see, wellness activities and interventions, and after each, activity and evaluation needs to go out to participants for feedback so that we can kind of tailor the program a little more, tweak it to meet other people's, you know, the needs of the greater majority.
Council questions? Council pleasure? Forward. All right. That brings us to item J, hiring of a police officer.
At the, public safety meeting, this had come up, and Dan had agreed that we would move forward with this. I was wondering where we're at on this, if we, started the process due to the, to take up to 6 months before we actually get them, on the street.
My understanding is that John let gal know the next day.
Okay, well, John had told me that he had approached Richard about it, and Richard said that he had not gotten the full relevant yet.
We did right here in the meeting.
I know, that's what I thought.
Not since then, I didn't talk to him about that at all.
Since you had
I'll
something to
contact
add.
Gail myself tomorrow to make sure the process is done.
Gail.
Gail Bennett
Gail
with the
Bennett.
Silver Service.
Okay.
Last thing I heard, she's had no direction on the city. Last thing I heard, unless I'm not gonna quote this or not, but I understood that John had talked to Richard, and Richard was waiting for information from you.
That's what I was told by John as well.
So, well, nobody's asked me.
Okay, well, that's why I'm asking you now.
So, all somebody has to do is call me.
What?
Call me.
Tell me.
Ask a question, send me an email, I'll
Okay.
respond, I promise.
All right, yeah, that's the only reason I brought it up tonight.
Not a problem, I will call Gail Bennett personally tomorrow. I'm gonna send her an email actually right now.
Can you send me,
Since the meeting's over,
send me an email, let me know where we stand or how we're doing on that?
I would be happy to.
Thank you. That's all I have.
There being nothing further on our agenda this evening, we are adjourned.